Hello everyone, this is Inashri Kandelwal from 9tocloud.com. So today we are going to do a small tutorial on how to do an Ansible installation and work with Ansible ad hoc commands. If we have time, we will also see how we can work around with Ansible playbooks. I'm going to follow the same details or the same article which I've written in my blog, as you can see over here. So you can go to 9tocloud.com and you can check out the part 1 that says let's roll with Ansible. So I'm going to follow the same article on how to do the installation and how to set up the environment and then go ahead with it. So I'm not going to go into the detail about what is Ansible or why you choose Ansible. It's all about automation, and when you want to make your stuff easier, when you have got a huge infrastructure, it's rather easier to deal with have some automation, like maybe use Chef or Puppet or Ansible. There's so many tools available out there which helps you to automate a lot here and there, stuff like that. If you want to deep dive into Ansible, you can always choose the Ansible documentation, which is right over here. You can go to docs.ansible.com. The documentation of Ansible is very easy and it's very exhaustive. I mean, it's very detailed and it's easy for you to use. One of the advantage of Ansible over the rest of the automation tools is that it doesn't require you to install the agents onto your slave servers, your client servers, whatever you want to say, and the operation is quite easy. Okay, so you can read all that theory part, but we'll jump right into the details of how we are going to go ahead and see how this Ansible works. So the first thing that we've talked about is the Ansible installation, for which you need 2 servers or more than that, one of which is going to be the master and the rest will be the servers. And you have to make sure that the connectivity between the master and the slave servers is right. I'm going to show you how we can do that. I'm using Red Hat CentOS 7. I'm going to show you what configuration that I have in those servers. Okay, you can also go ahead with Ubuntu, and if you want to follow the Ubuntu tutorial, you can go right over here, which I've got, install Ansible with Ubuntu, so you can choose that. Choice is yours. Okay, so let's get started. So I have one server over here and the another one over here. So I'm just trying to make certain settings, just the prior basic settings that I need. Before that, let's just check what we have over here. So this is my CentOS 7 server, and you can see the configuration over here, same as this one. What I have not done is I have not changed the hosts for both of these servers. Yeah, okay, so this is 136 and this has to be 135. Make sure that the connection is right, you're able to ping outside. You make sure that you can ping the external world, and yes, this is working. Yes, so this is also working. So I'm just going to change the host name and I'm going to call it as master. It rather does not update instantly the name of the host, but we're just going to see. And I'm going to call this as slave. Yeah, and I have to make sure that I have written the host straight. That's going to be your master, and this is going to be your slave. Just going to put the same thing over here. You can add more servers to it, but we're just going to work with these two to see, to acquire the main aim of running Ansible. Yeah, so I'm able to ping the slave, and from here I can ping the master. Yeah, but this is, it's not necessary that you have to ping the master from the slave. It's not necessary, but you have to make sure that your master is, pinging your slave, which is this one. I'm just going to restart the network to see if I can acquire the host name here so that we don't get confused. No, okay, never mind that. So let's go ahead and see what our article says and what we have to do. So the first thing that we have to make sure is that we are able to ping our slave without a password that we need. Before that, we have to make sure that whether we are able to SSH our slave servers or not. So it's 192.168.182.136, which is my slave server, which you've just seen that we've created. So yes, it is asking me for a password, right? But yes, I am able to SSH to my slave. What I want to do now is I want to make sure that I don't need the password every time that I want to push any query from my master to slave. So what I'm going to do is, as this article says, I'm just going to follow the same thing. I'm going to, I'm just going to copy paste and shorten this up a bit. This. Yeah. So we are going to make a directory for our SSH. Okay, so file exists. Okay, now we are going to generate a key. That key is what we are going to share with our slave. Okay, so I do not need any exclusive file name. I'm going to just keep it as it is, what it says as root.ssh id underscore RSA. So I'm just going to keep this file the same. I'm not going to enter any passphrase. I'm just going to keep it as an empty one, and it's just going to create a key for me. Okay, so as we proceed further, you want to now share that key, that public key, to the slave so that you don't require to enter the password again and again, which is going to be under your .ssh/id underscore rsa.pub. That is your public key. If you want to verify that, you can verify that. Yeah, so you can see over here that you've got this as a public key and this as a private key, and these are the known hosts which will be registered under known hosts. Okay, so we are going to do what? We are going to copy the same key to the username and the host. So this username for me in the slave is root, which I have created, and the host is either 192.168.182.136. You can use the DNS name as well. Yeah, so this is the first time that I'll have to give the password. Once it gets registered, I do not have to give the password again and again. So let us verify. If we SSH to slave, do we need the password? No, so we do not require the password now. So that's done. Now let's move ahead. Let's just move ahead and see what we want to do. You can go ahead with an update. I'm just going to skip that part for now, and I'm going to go ahead and enable the EPL repository, which is necessary in the CentOS. So go ahead and do that. Oops, so that's a wrong copy. Okay, so I do not have a wget. So now I have installed wget. Now I can okay, so it seems that we have a little bit of a problem with the right URL. So I'm just going to verify. I'm just going to verify the right URL so that we can go ahead. And I need, yes, so this is the one that I need. So I am going to wget and I'm going to copy this link right over here. And yes, so now this is working. I'm going to update this same on my blog as well, because I think that this has been updated. The RPM has been updated, which I did not notice, but yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that I've noticed it now. So I'm going to change this as well, and this is going to be 9 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so yeah, so this is done. Now we can go ahead and do an Ansible installation. So let us proceed. It says that yes, install an Ansible. Why? Since I'm already a root, sudo is not necessary, but it's not going to change much. Okay, so Ansible installation, as you can see, is completed. You can verify that like so, and you can check that which version that is being installed in your system, right? So let's just go ahead and see what we've got. You can always find a directory for Ansible under etc and Ansible. So you can see that there is certain folders which is already being created. The most important one for you right now is hosts. So this defines on what hosts do you want to apply Ansible commands, right? So when you want to check hosts, it has got certain set of information. It also gives you an example of how you can define hosts. Say, if you can see over here as an example, if you have like 6 hosts which are named like this, you can define them in such a manner, like www.001:006. That saves your time, and it's kind of a range that you can define under the host. There are many other ways with help of which you can define your host. This web server over here says that there is a group of these servers which are known as web servers. So whenever you want to apply any Ansible command or an Ansible playbook or an Ansible Galaxy on the group web server, it is going to apply those commands on all of these 4 servers, right? So you can check this out, and you can take the help of this. For now, I can what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a copy of this, and I am going to empty this hosts for now, and I'm going to create a host for myself, and I'm going to call it as web server, anything that you can call it, and I'm going to give the IP address as 136, which is our slave server, right? So that has been done. Now what's next? We are going to check whether this is going to work for us or not, whether Ansible is going to work for us or not. Now the interesting thing over here is, if you can see, we are going to follow -m. We are going to put this command. -m is for the module. You can go to the Ansible documentation and you can see what all are the modules which are available within the Ansible. So -m stands for a module. So you can put a lot of commands over here. It could be a file module, it could be a shell module, it could be a ping module, which is in this case. And web server is the group name that we defined under the hosts. So if I'm going to hit enter, I should get a response which says success, because it is trying to ping my slave. So this says that yes, 192.168 is success, and yes, that server is responding to you. So it's pretty easy how you can run Ansible in your slave servers. The rest of the commands that you can run is, okay, let's go ahead and let's try to see the status of any one of the service which is running under your slave. So -m, as I've said earlier, is for the command, and -a is for an argument that you add. So what kind of argument do you want to add? We've added an argument that says systemctl status network. So we want to check the status of the network service under web server host. So let's see what response do we get. So you can see that the response is, you're getting certain set of response. So let's observe what I got. It is not what I've expected, but it says that it was able to ask for something from the web server within which we've got our slave. So we were asking for a status for the network service, but for some reason the network was not reachable on the slave. So it got me something. We went back to the slave server and we restarted the network. So we connected the Ethernet card over there, which was not connected earlier, but now it's working fine. So it gave a certain response. It says that could not load file, which was network configuration scripts. So it was not reachable, but then the moment we connected the NIC card in the right manner, it gave us a response stating that yes, the network is reachable and the status for that is working. Yes, so you can repeat the same thing and it's going to give a response to you. It should be really quick to give you a response, which is this. So let's try to run certain set of commands which are a little different from what we are doing right now. Okay, so I've got certain set of commands for Ansible that you can run. These are called the Ansible ad hoc commands, which you run from the command line, and you don't have to create the playbooks for this specifically. It's kind of you want to just run those commands, and you don't want to write an entire playbook which is in YAML and do a formatting in order to run the Ansible. You can check the ad hoc commands from the Ansible documentation again, and you can deep dive into it and learn what it is and things like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll run these commands. I'm just going to copy paste them for now to see how the response will be. As you can see over here, I ran the command which in order to get a status for the network on how the network is working or whether the network service is up or running in my slave. Okay, so yes, so it gives me responses stating that yes, it is up and it is running, the network service is up and running. So now I'm going to just check the memory for my web server, and yes, so it gives me response. It is stating that there is some memory which is left, which is 475 MB. So yes, so this is kind of a query that you can run from your master to your slave, and you don't have to log into your slaves again and again. The one good thing about it is that you can add as many hosts as possible under this web server, and you can query them all, right? Or if you have, say for example, I've got the web server over here. If you've got DB servers, you can have certain different set of commands for the DB servers, and you can get a response here itself, right? So let's move ahead and let's see the other command. we are going to do a yum installation of HTTPD and see how we are going to get this response. So it says that web server is the group that I want to use. -I hosts, this is the list of the host, this is the host file which I have provided in the ad hoc command. -m is the module, as I've said, which is yum, and -a is the argument that I want to push into this command. So this is a kind of an ad hoc command for me, and I'm going to press enter, and it is going to install HTTPD, install Apache on slave. It's going to take few seconds. Okay, so this is installed the Apache on our slave. So as you can see that this tells you that it is success and it has changed something. When it is saying changed, which is true, that means there's something which is changed on your slave. Okay, so yeah, so this is running. Now what we can do is we ran over here as the status. We can also try to see whether the HTTPD Apache is running or whatever is the status for that. Okay, so it says that it is inactive. That means it is not running. Let me try to see if I can start HTTPD from here. And it says yes, so that means that yes, it is working. And let's try to see whether the status is good enough for us. Yes, so it says that yes, it is working. So that's great, that's good. That is something new that we've seen. Another thing that you can do is you can copy certain set of files from one server, from master to slave. This is good when you want to do a multiple copy of multiple copies of particular folders from one server to another server. So we've got a message that says failed. It says that changed, which is false. That means it failed to do some kind of change on your slave. Okay, that is why it says that it has not changed anything, because it was not able to find root hello.txt in the expected path. That means I do not have a hello.txt under my root folder. I'm going to have to create one. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops. I'm just going to echo hello, nothing else. And yes, so I've got something now. So let's try again. Oops, I have made a mistake again. So it is not under the root that I created. So let's just change that. No. Yes, so now I think this is right, and let me try to run the command again. Okay, so we've got some response, and it says that yes, something has been happening, and it is telling you that something has changed, which is true. So you know what, let's just go ahead and see. Let's just go ahead and verify whether we've got the file under our root folder in under slave. So let's ls hello.txt cat hello.txt, and yes, so that's what it is. Let's do a little bit of more change. It's nothing which is very different, but I'm just going to make some change, and we're just going to observe what Ansible is going to tell us when this happens. So we are going to push the same file again. So it says that it has changed something. That is true. Okay. Now let us SSH again. Oops. And it says hello master. Right. Now let us run the command again, and let's see whether it says something has changed or not. So it says false. That means you've not made any change in hello.txt that needed to be pushed from master to slave. So the response is like this. If you made any changes, it would give you a response in yellow. That means it has changed something. Okay, and it is going to tell you what it has changed, right? So let's move ahead and let's try to install Vim. Okay, it's the same as how we had installed Apache. And let's see the response. Okay, so it seems that it is installed Vim in our slave server. Okay, so these are the things, these are few of the ad hoc commands that you can run with the Ansible. So excuse me. So in today's video, we've learned how we can install Ansible, how we can create a master-slave communication, and then how we can push our Ansible commands to our slave servers or the rest of the servers or in any infrastructure that you have. This is just the basic, nothing very fancy, but this is a good way to start and learn how Ansible basically works. Please go ahead and read the documentation which Ansible has given the official website. They have written the modules in a very deep manner, and they they've given the commands, they have given the explanations, so you can test a lot of things, you can work around with a lot of things. And anyhow, I'm going to put more tutorials on 9tocloud.com for you to follow. So if this video had helped you, please subscribe and like the video, and please visit 9tocloud.com for more tutorials like this. So thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye.